Okay, so Marvel's Wolverine just got the biggest trailer on State of Play in September 2025, and while there's plenty of exciting new details and reveals of the Wolverine gameplay, which I was able to find on multiple reliable sources and compile into one video, breaking them all down here, so please make sure to support the hard work I did by hitting the like button on the video and following for more. It will definitely help out the channel, compensating my hard work significantly. Also, thank you guys for reaching 4,500 subscribers on this channel. Now let's dive into the massive news we just got. Also, this is a long-term video, so the information in this video will have been factual for 2026 as well. Okay, so let's start with the story. Insomniac describes this game as a global thriller. This kinda means Wolverine won't just be stuck in one city. Instead, this is supposed to be a worldwide journey where we'll be able to play for Wolverine in different parts of the world and missions. To support the argument, the September State of Play trailer showed Logan traveling across the snowy landscape of Canada, the neon-lit streets of Tokyo, and the criminal underworld of Madripoor, which is, by the way, a fictional island nation in Marvel Comics located in Southeast Asia, and it is notorious for its criminal underworld. And each of these locations ties into Wolverine's history from the comics. Now, Canada is where Logan's roots lie and where Weapon X program experimented on him. Tokyo is tied to his samurai and ninja storylines, as well as encounters with villains like the Hand. And Madripoor is the lawless island where Wolverine often worked under the Patch identity, the place of crime and corruption. Now, this game looks like it's pulling from all those elements to create a dark, mature, globe-spanning story, which is something most fans do enjoy here. Let me know your thoughts on this in the comment section. Now, what about Logan himself? In this game, his voice and motion captured by Liam McIntyre, who fans may know from Gears of War and The Flash. Wolverine here isn't a kind superhero, he's more like an anti-hero in this game. He heals quickly, and yes, he also suffers a lot along the way. His combat style is furious and animalistic, but his story is deeply human. Logan is always fighting not just his enemies, but also himself, his past, his anger, and his rage. The darker tone is exactly what Insomniac is aiming here for, and of course, it sounds like a really nice idea here. Now let's get into the gameplay. And for this one, there's so much news here, I promise you guys to cover in this video. Okay, so first off, obviously, unlike Insomniac's Spider-Man games, which is actually web-based, Wolverine's combat is a little different. Well, not only it's way more brutal, but it's also not as smooth as in Spider-Man games, specifically Marvel's Spider-Man 2, but what's obvious is that enemy damage is far superior in Wolverine than in Spider-Man, which makes, you know, a blood tech system much more complicated here as well. So we'll be definitely able to see much more finishers here and brutal effects in the combat. Now, according to playtesters who played this game just this year, they actually said the combat in this game is pretty incredible here. This makes me sure Insomniac is delivering such a great gameplay in Wolverine. One of the key mechanics here is the Berserker Rage meter. As Wolverine takes damage and lets combust, the rage meter fills. When activated, Logan goes into overdrive, faster, stronger, more savage, and able to unleash cinematic finishers that feel straight out of the comics. But it's not just all about this ability. Logan's hidden senses are built into stealth gameplay, so you can track enemies by scent, listen to footsteps, with his enhanced hearing and plan sneak takedowns. This is something like Batman Arkham's detective vision, enhanced in the Wolverine unique style. Now, traversal and environment. Movement in this game also looks really fun. Logan may not web swinging, but he's agile, using parkour and rooftop chases to get around. The trailer even showed him leaping across neon rooftops in Tokyo and riding a motorcycle at high speed. Environments are also interactive, and you can smash enemies into walls, throw them over bars, and even use objects in fights. On top of this, incredibly, Insomniac is also pushing the PS5 hardware hard. Reportedly, DualSense adaptive triggers let you feel the resistance of his claws as they pop out, while haptic feedback mimics every hit, slice, and impact, which sounds just incredible. And the 3D audio, which makes his senses come alive, letting you hear enemies creeping behind you. Of course, no Wolverine story is complete without villains, and Insomniac wasted no time showing some great ones. I'm gonna break them all down really shortly for you guys, so make sure to follow to support my effort here. The first one is Omega Red, who is a Russian mutant with deadly carbonadium tentacles. He's one of Logan's most brutal enemies, known for draining life forces and being practically unkillable, so it is definitely worth expecting long boss fights here. Next up is Mystique, who is the shape-shifting mutant. Sometimes an enemy, sometimes an ally, and in this game it looks like she'll be playing both sides, which could lead to some big twists in the story. The Reavers are basically mercenaries and they're pretty brutal, kinda relentless, but not too hard in this game, which makes them exactly the kind of enemies Logan would easily fight. Now, Sentinel Prototype is one of those massive mutant hunting robots appearing at the end of the trailer, and it's not fully developed yet, but even the prototype here looks just incredible. This lineup of villains shows that Insomniac is leaning deep into Wolverine's comic book history, and it makes the game feel much more like an X-Men corner of the Marvel gaming universe. Now, Insomniac has been very clear on this, and this is not like a Spider-Man game, which is why it's an M-rated superhero game. The tone here is much darker, more brutal, and kinda personal. In the trailer, Logan literally says, "I'm no hero, I am Wolverine," which perfectly sets the tone here. This isn't about saving the world in a colorful costume, but it's about survival, vengeance, and a really deep story. This is done primarily because fans have always wanted a true brutal Wolverine game, and for years we've had lighter Marvel games, but Logan's character demands something more violent and more emotional, which is what Insomniac is exactly getting here. Now let's talk about the long road to this reveal. Wolverine was first announced back in 2021 on PlayStation Showcase with just a really short teaser. Since then we heard almost nothing official until this September in 2025. Part of this silence was due to a major cyber attack on Insomniac in 2023, where so much content of the game was basically lost. Back then it was pretty rough, which made fans a little worried, but now with the new trailer we got in September, it's clear the game is way more polished now. Insomniac has also had leadership changes in 2024, but the project continued very strong, and now the studio says the game is firmly on track for its fall 2026 release. They've even confirmed we'll see more gameplay and details in spring 2026. Now the question, how does this game fit with Insomniac's Spider-Man series? Well, the developers have hinted that it exists in the same universe. This means a connected Marvel gaming universe could be forming, Spider-Man, Venom, Wolverine, and maybe even more X-Men in the future, but the fact that Wolverine is in the same universe as Spider-Man is pretty impressive here. And yet I'm not really sure if Spider-Man is going to be referenced in this game, but I think it would be a really nice addition here. In fact, there is also some huge news that Wolverine could be the start of a new trilogy focused on the X-Men side of games. The X-Men game is expected to be released sometime in 2030, so it might be quite doubtful to see Spider-Man references in Marvel's Wolverine, but still looks possible. This makes the game not just exciting on its own, but also as a part of much bigger Marvel plans. Okay, so Marvel's Wolverine is shaping up to be one of the greatest superhero games ever made. With its brutal combat, a darker story, iconic villains, it is expected to be one of the new Insomniac's phenomenal projects. And fans are really looking forward to this project, especially knowing Insomniac's track record with Spider-Man, have expectations extremely high. We'll definitely see more in 2026. Obviously the game is expected to come out in the late 2026, coming approximately October to December, as usual with Insomniac's games. But yeah, let me know if you're hyped for this project made by Insomniac Games, and now you can check out another highly anticipated Insomniac's project called Venom Lethal Protector. It's completely full breakdown, including all story and gameplay details, in this huge video on the end screen now.